Imagine you're driving down a remote mountain road in the middle of the night. Suddenly, someone in the car experiences just crushing chest pain.
Oh, that's a terrifying scenario.
Right, and you see this blue highway sign glowing in the headlights. It says Critical Access Hospital.
And naturally, you'd assume you're pulling up to this massive state-of-the-art trauma center, like a place packed with elite specialists just waiting to save a life.
Exactly. But if you have a severe, complex emergency, well, that building might actually be the last place you want to end up. Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we are doing a deep dive into a massive linguistic paradox that fundamentally rewrites how rural healthcare operates.
It really is a jarring realization. I mean, the disconnect comes from how the medical system uses the exact same word to measure, well, entirely different things.
Right, because when we hear critical condition, we know what that means. It's a patient with unstable vitals, failing organs, someone physically on the edge.
Yeah, exactly. But what's fascinating here is that when regulators use the phrase critical access hospital, they aren't describing the patients inside. They're actually describing the building itself and all those empty miles surrounding it.
Wait, so if someone is in actual critical condition, a critical access hospital is basically the least equipped place to hold them. That feels genuinely dangerous.
It does sound backwards. But to understand the logic, you really have to look at the mechanics of rural hospital survival back in the late 90s. So in 1997, Congress passed the Balanced Budget Act.
Because rural hospitals were struggling back then, right?
Oh, they were bleeding money. They were going bankrupt at this alarming rate because they just couldn't generate enough patient volume to survive. So the government created this critical access designation as a financial lifeline.
Gotcha. So it was like a trade-off.
Exactly.
Okay.
These rural facilities agreed to strict limits, specifically capping out at just 25 acute care beds. And in exchange, they got much better Medicare reimbursement rates just to keep their doors open.
Wait, just 25 beds? I mean, that doesn't even sound like a hospital. That sounds more like a clinic. How do they handle real emergencies with a cap like that?
Well, they do have 2047 emergency rooms, but their operational model is completely different from what you'd see in a city hospital. Those ERs are built strictly for immediate stabilization.
So they just patch you up and send you out?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
By law, they generally have to discharge or transfer their patients within 96 hours. I mean, they aren't designed to perform complex neurosurgery or keep someone in the ICU for a month.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, their mandate is just keeping a patient alive long enough to get them onto a helicopter or an ambulance heading somewhere bigger.
Oh, I see. It's like the medical equivalent of a runaway truck ramp. Like, it isn't the final destination, and it's not going to rebuild the brakes on the truck.
That is a perfect way to look at it. They are the ultimate triage points.
Right. Its only job is to stop a bad situation from becoming a fatal one, just long enough to get towed to a real mechanic. But because the public hears the word critical and pictures a massive trauma center, there's this huge gap between expectation and reality.
Exactly. It's a massive gap.
And here's where it gets really interesting. The criteria for even becoming one of these runaway truck ramps is entirely based on geography.
Yep, geography is the whole key here.
Right. They only earn this special regulatory label and the federal funding that comes with it if they are more than 35 miles from the nearest hospital, or 15 miles if you're navigating rough mountain roads.
Because that's the threshold where distance literally becomes deadly. The word critical in this context, it measures how necessary that physical building is to the map.
It's a regulatory safety net preventing massive care gaps.
Exactly. Think about the mechanics of a heart attack in a rural area. Without that tiny 25-bed building, a cardiac event isn't a medical emergency being managed. It's just a terrifying hour-long drive in the back of a car.
That is a terrifying thought.
Right. Or a compound fracture. Instead of getting an immediate splint and pain management, you're facing an agonizing wait for an ambulance coming from a whole county over. The facility is critical because without it, there is just zero care at all for thousands of square miles.
So what does this all mean? It means we have a complete disconnect in our everyday language, one that measures two entirely different types of urgency.
Yeah, two totally different scales.
Right. When a nurse says critical, they mean a body on the edge of failing. But when a regulator says critical, they mean a geographic gap on a map. Both realities are absolutely true, but neither matches what you or I assume when we see that blue H sign on the highway.
And that highlights a major flaw in how we communicate during emergencies. We rely so heavily on these institutional words to guide our expectations when we are at our most vulnerable. Yet the regulatory definitions are just completely at odds with public intuition.
It really makes you wonder, if our regulatory language is this disconnected from our basic assumptions during life or death emergencies, what other everyday medical labels are we completely misunderstanding when we walk through clinic doors?